is part 2 in a 6-part series on men's financial intelligence, the 6 financial mistakes that husbands make and end up losing control of their home. In this video, we discuss mistake number 2. This is the kind of mistake that leads to arguments, arguments over money. Very uncomfortable. But those arguments where no one is saying anything? Those are worse. You can easily lose control of your home. Welcome to Preparing Men for Marriage. My name is Brian Matambo, and this is a program for men and the women that love them. Let me help you avoid those frustrating moments in your marriage with some practical solutions. Trust me, together we can make your relationship stronger and happier. Make sure you have a pen and paper because towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you some 5 actionable tips that you don't want to miss out on. Before we dive in, if you have not yet followed or subscribed, please do so now and leave a comment down below. If there's a man in your life, share this video with them. Help your brothers and your nephews and husbands and all the male folk in your life learn something new today. And if you didn't watch episode 1, make sure you watch it. It was equally good. Now, let's go right into the meat of this session. Mistake number 2 that husbands make and end up losing control of their home. In episode 1, we talked about income. In this episode, we want to talk about what you do after you've earned an income. Most people get excited when they have money and they begin to spend without carefully thinking through. A lot of people have a very emotional relationship with money. That is why they fail to think when they have money. Some people, when they have money, are immediately drawn to buying the latest gadgets or going out to the club to drink expensive beers. Some people begin to buy unnecessary things that have no bearing whatsoever on their well-being or the well-being of the family. And when they have run out of money, that is when they remember that they didn't pay off their debts, and they didn't buy food, and they didn't pay school fees. Do you know that one person who gets depressed or even develops a fever when they run out of money? But when they somehow get money, the fever disappears and they are totally on top of the world. Suddenly, they are healed. Look, you need to move money issues from your heart to your mind. Stop being emotional about money and start being logical about it. Money is not a feeling, it's an idea. All right? Money is not a feeling, it's an idea. Budgeting is a logical approach to finances. You need to be very careful because your budget should not just be consumeristic and emotional documentation of your cravings. A budget is a logical approach to finances and an effective roadmap to an A-class financial management system in your home. Without a budget, managing finances becomes a challenge, especially in today's economy. Have you heard of the Valley of Tension? The Valley of Tension. The most slippery valley that is infested with marital quagmires and financial quandaries. The source of catastrophe in the home. The fastest route to the Valley of Tension in a home is a lack of budgeting. Unfortunately, a lot of families do not pay attention to the power and value of budgeting and the peace it can bring. There's a scripture that gives quite a fair warning. It says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance and advantage, but everyone who acts in haste comes surely to poverty. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5. Check it out. Let me tell you, failing to plan is effortlessly planning to fail. Abandoning budgeting is one mistake that will lead you in a lot of unrelated problems, but you will see the symptoms of tension and financial stress. Knowing how to create and stick to a budget is a very important skill for a man to have. First, understand that budgeting is non-negotiable. You must always plan how you will spend money, and you need your family to be in on this one. Instead of your wife and children pushing you into unplanned expenses, you should be planning together. A budget helps you allocate your income wisely so that you can cover essential expenses like housing and food and education, while leaving room for savings and investments and eventually entertainment. Budgeting is a roadmap for your financial journey. It helps you to allocate your hard-earned cash, your hard-earned money, in a way that aligns with your goals and responsibilities as a husband and as a family. Now, let me bust a little myth. A budget isn't about restricting yourself. It's about spending intentionally. It helps you to make better choices, to stay on track to achieve your financial goals. And it helps to eradicate arguments. And that tension we talked about, that's the way to deal with it. So, where do you start from with developing this obviously very important skill of budgeting? Here are 5 actionable tips that I promised earlier to build your budgeting skills. Very brief. Tip number 1, start small and be patient. Start small and be patient. Building a budgeting habit, it takes time. But don't be discouraged if you face challenges in the beginning. Just stick to it. Remember what you're doing this for. Remember. Tip number 2, use technology. Many budgeting apps are available, on your phone. You could get an app from Android, or whether it's iPhone or Android that you're using. Get an app and use that so it can help you organize your budgeting system. Now, tip number 3, be flexible. Life is unpredictable, and your budget might need adjustments along the way. So, be open to adapting your plan as circumstances change. Just remember, being flexible is not the same as being headless. So, be flexible, but stay focused. Tip number 4, involve your family. Your wife and kids must be involved in the budgeting process. It promotes transparency and helps everyone understand what the financial goals are. This is also the best way to end those arguments about money in the family. And tip number 5, celebrate milestones. As you achieve your financial goals, celebrate your progress. It boosts your motivation to stick to your budget and continue working hard towards your dreams. Warning. If you abandon budgeting in your life and your family, be prepared to spend most of your life in the valley of tension. So, do yourself a favor and develop a culture of budgeting, making it inclusive and fun for everyone in the family. Ensure that it outlines the income and expenses and saving goals and so on and so forth. And remember, when you budget together, you eliminate arguments and those uncomfortable code words. Thank you for joining us in this crucial discussion on men's financial intelligence, mistake number 2. Remember, your financial journey within your family relies on your understanding of the importance of budgeting. So don't underestimate budgeting. Elevate your involvement in the process as a family. In our next episode, we'll unravel yet another critical financial aspect that can shape the dynamics of your family. Stay tuned for mistake number 3 that husbands make and end up losing control of their home. Now, It's your turn to take charge. Reflect on the insights shared in this video and assess how you can implement better budgeting practices in your life and in your marriage. Share this knowledge with the men in your life, your brothers, your uncles, and everybody else around you. And let's collectively strive for financial stability. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and like this video. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section. When I see your comments, I respond, and it really motivates me to keep bringing this content to you. So please take a second and just leave me a comment, all right? Lastly, if you haven't watched episode 1, make sure you catch up. It's packed with valuable information. Thank you for being part of the Preparing Men for Marriage community. My name is Brian Matambo, and I will see you in the next video.